Welcome back to Dragon's Den, where pitches can lead to riches. And 5 of Britain's sharpest business brains await a new batch of fledgling entrepreneurs. Joining them tonight,
I'm Trinny Woodall, and I am the CEO and founder of Trinny London.
a skincare and beauty queen becomes a deal-seeking dragon.
Welcome to the den. Lovely to have you.
I'm so excited to be here with you all. Thank you. I started my business with the inspiration of women I worked with in my previous career. We have grown to a team of 250 people. We sell in 180 countries, and we have only just begun. To be successful in business, you have to have a thick skin. I don't get why you're in the den. Faffing around doesn't particularly work. I think you have to be a straight talker. Stop bloody apologizing, darling. I'm looking for an entrepreneur who can think globally. Go away and think, how would I actually make this a business which has scale? And if they don't bring their entire game, I just don't understand your motivation. I will judge them for it. No. It's really challenging starting a business. The more we can help people and inspire them, the better. I'd be so proud, so proud.
Hi, my name's Laura and I'm a mum of 2 and I live in London. I've always been super passionate about the environment, really eco-conscious, and I want to be able to make a mark on that category for decades to come.
It's obviously a sponge, isn't it?
Who likes cleaning?
I will polish a dining room table to the nth. I have a spray which I put on my desk, which lives in my top drawer every few minutes to make sure it's clean.
So when are you free to come down to stay at my
I was so excited when they told me that Trinny was one of the guest dragons. I don't think you could have picked a better guest dragon. So I'm super excited to pitch Seep to her. Hello, dragons. My name is Laura, and I'm the founder of Seep. I'm here today with the opportunity to invest £50,000 in exchange for 1% of my business. I founded Seep back in late 2020 because I was so frustrated by the lack of plastic-free cleaning accessories in the market. While I'd switched to eco-cleaning sprays, detergents and toilet roll, when it came to the accessories like the sponges and cloths, everything I found was predominantly made from plastic, and very few of them you can recycle. It's estimated that over 1 billion of these plastic cleaning tools are thrown away into landfill and incineration every year. In 3 years, we've released over 10 products that are all plastic-free, and they've been designed to be completely compostable at end of life or endlessly recyclable. We've delivered nearly £2.5 million in sales. We're B Corp certified, and we've got listings in really prestigious retailers like Ocado, Lakeland and Booths. Dragons, with your expertise and investment, we think we can disrupt this dusty cleaning tool category for the good of people and planet.
A range of plastic-free, planet-protecting cleaning accessories are the offering from Laura Harnett.
There you go.
She's seeking £50,000 in return for 1% of her business.
You know what? I should have done this at the start of the series.
Oh my gosh, exactly. You can do your shoes, you can give the studio a bit of a clean.
Peter Jones has already cleaned up in the den, but can this eco-conscious entrepreneur join him?
Laura, what is your best-selling product over the last 2 years?
So the best-selling product is this one here. So it's the sponge scourer. And that's
how many of those have you sold?
We've sold individual units over 1 million.
And what sort of margin?
So it depends by channel. So for retail, we obviously discount so that the retailers can make a margin. But on average, on D2C, somewhere between 50 and 60%.
So, Laura, can I just talk about your financials? Let's start at 2022 through to now.
So 2022, we did 606,000, and then with a gross profit of 320,000.
Yeah.
And then a net profit of minus 250. 2023, we did 958,000, 458,000 in gross profit, and we made a £324,000 loss.
OK. You won't be surprised to hear, when are we going to make any money?
So we're estimating that 2027, we are going to make money. And so 2027, 10 million of sales, 4.4 million of gross profit, and $500,000 of net profit.
OK. And how are you funding your losses?
So from investors, I've put my own money into it. We've won some grants, and we've raised just under $1 million up till now.
Oh, in total?
In total.
OK, thank you.
Losses.
Losses, I know. I thought you might have
Losses,
something to say about
losses.
that, Touker.
I mean, what I want to know
Yeah.
is why are you losing money?
So last year, 958. Yeah, 958
Your gross
sales.
profit was
Yeah.
458.
Yeah.
Your loss was 324. That's like £780,000 you've spent. Where does it all go to?
So from gross profit, we spend quite a bit on marketing.
Can't all be going to marketing.
So we spent money on developing the products, we rebranded, and I built a team. I built a team that
That
I
worries
felt...
me. I tell you why it worries me.
Yeah.
The best entrepreneurs that come here are the ones that says, every penny is a present in my pocket.
Yeah.
In your case, it was like spend, spend, spend. So
Yeah.
as we speak today, I would imagine you haven't got a lot of money in the bank.
So we have actually a bit of money in the bank because of our last fundraise.
Right.
And over the past 6 months, we've improved our gross margins by 10 to 20%. So we were at 30%. This year, we should be at roughly 40 or 50%.
So my last question, so the sales that you've done up to now,
Yeah.
has that been totally retail or has that been on your website?
It's
What's the
nearly,
mix?
yeah, so 60% of it is on our website. And actually, D2C is just about break even. 30% of it has been through Amazon and 10% has been with retail. Amazon's making a little bit of money. Retail is how we're going to grow.
Hi, nice
Hi.
to meet you, Laura.
Hi, Trinny.
Can I ask you, you're 60% D2C.
Yep.
I'd just like to know a little bit about that. I find it very interesting because I'm mainly D2C,
Yeah.
and I sense that maybe you feel you're hitting a ceiling in D2C and you think retail is the future.
Yeah, I mean, I know that D2C is a big part of your business as well, but it's been really up and down. You know, we launched during lockdown where times were brilliant and, you know, our cost of acquisitions was really low. And then there was a sort of year where it was really quite tough. And so we had to kind of suddenly go, right, how are we going to get organic sales?
Yeah.
Most people aren't buying cleaning accessories direct from people on websites. They're buying them with their weekly shop. That's why people want to be able to pop it into their basket, and that's how they want to buy them. And so that is much more profitable.
I think in retail, you may have to create a unit and all your products fit into that unit and people just see it. And my concern, apart from the numbers, is that your reliance of online.
Yeah.
Is how do you switch it all off and
Yeah.
still keep the lights on?
Trinny, it doesn't look like you agree with
Like-
that.
You always come up with this thing of like the end of D2C. You know, when I watch this show, I hear you say it, and I just take umbrage because I think there is power in D2C.
But it depends how much money you've got to lose to get there.
Yeah, but you don't lose money on...
Well, she's losing money now.
No, but you don't...
Well,
Go on, Trinny, prove him wrong, make an offer.
Laura, I'll tell you where I'm at. I absolutely love the business in terms of the purpose of the business. I can't fall in love with the mechanics of the business. You know, I was trying to wrestle with how confident do I feel that the business is going to take the trajectory that you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't get comfortable with the numbers trajectory that you're forecasting. And we're already losing an awful lot of money. So I'm sorry, it's not an investment for me. I'm
All right,
out.
thank you.
Laura, I'm going to tell you where I am. I think you're phenomenal. If this was like some other form of Dragon's Den where it was just about hiring the person, I would have already made you an offer. However, one of the factors that makes me invest in a business is my personal excitement about the business. And it's just not something that I'm hugely excited about. So I'm going to say that I'm out.
Laura, do you know what? I think this is fantastic.
Okay.
I just wondered though, and I know that I've ripped everything apart looking at it, but I'm doing it to see what components, where can we take cost out?
Yeah.
And this is what I think you need to do. How do you get those costs down? Your margin is not good enough. And I don't think you're going to survive unless you change that, particularly if you're now wanting to do this in retail. Boy, are you going to need to increase. You're going to need to probably get very close to double the margin you're getting today. And that's a tall order, so you're going to need some really good help there. However, the business just at the level that you're offering and the percentages, it's just not overly exciting for me. So I'm going to wish you well on your way, but I won't be investing. I'm going to say that I'm out.
Okay, thanks.
I know what I can bring to the party, and that's definitely helping you with your margins, sourcing, and retail. And I will make you an offer, but it comes at a price. You're looking for 50,000 for 1%. So I will offer you all of the money, the 50,000, but I want 7% because I believe that you're going to need a lot of help with your sourcing and retail.
I love this, and I love it for so many reasons. I, of course, love it because we chuck away billions of bits of useless rubbish, and there's an alternative. So I love all that. You're really good, and it's in a space that I think is really important. So I'm going to make you an offer for all of the money. That's £50,000, and I want 4% of the business.
4%.
I'm going to say that I think that for a part of your business, I'm the right dragon, but for the raison d'etre of your business, I'm not the right dragon. Because I think somebody has to really understand and have the passion, like Deborah has.
You can always share, Trinny. You can always share.
We could always share.
We could always share.
Well, if you're willing to share, now we're talking. So would you split it?
Absolutely, I would.
Yeah, so I'm going to make an offer, which would be to invest 25,000 for 2% of the business.
Thank you.
So do you want to go to the back?
I don't need to go to the back. I would absolutely love to accept Deborah and Trinny's offer.
Excellent.
Thank you very much.
Brilliant.
But thank you, Touker.
No mucking about from Laura,
Saying fantastic stuff.
who leaves with a clean, green dream team,
Thank you so much.
Oh, what a deal.
having mopped up £50,000.
I'm feeling unbelievably excited. I'm really glad it's over. It's quite a sort of stressful experience, but I'm so delighted.
Congratulations, and congratulations,
business.
Trinny, on your deal.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm excited. You're going to
congratulations.
teach me a lot about sustainability now.
Deborah and Trinny were my dream dragons, and I'm so happy that they've decided to come on board with us.
Hi, I'm Pete, I'm 29 and I'm from London.
Looking good.
Feeling good. I'm really excited about pitching to the Dragons. It's the sort of thing I never imagined happening when I had the idea, so it's pretty surreal.
Ah, you got this, mate.
It's what we do. So I have my idea in a pub. I've been weightlifting for more than a decade. I'd stopped deadlifting because I hated the setup so much. And I realised it was a problem that everyone has that could be solved by a water bottle.
This better be more exciting than just a water bottle.
I think it's going to be a little bit of a who can lift the highest weights amongst the male dragons, actually.
They wouldn't put two computers to me that.
Hey, in business, these guys.
Hi Dragons, I'm Pete. I'm looking for £50,000 for 12.5% of my business. The barbell. Now you'd be glad to hear that's not the business because barbells have been around since the 1860s. But the issue may already be obvious. Loading and unloading the weights is the bane of every weightlifter's existence. It puts your lower back in a vulnerable position. It tires out your grip strength just before you lift heavy. Unless you go to a powerlifting gym, you probably don't have a barbell jack. It's not the sort of thing you'd pack in your gym bag. If you're really keen, you might bring some lifting shoes, a rubber band, but most people just show up with their water bottle. And my water bottle is what I wanted to talk about. This is the Carter bottle, the Barbell Jack water bottle. Since we started, we've had 75 million views across all our social media platforms. We've had stock for just over a year, and in that time, we've sold 3,500 units for £135,000. So before we go to questions, I was wondering if I could get a volunteer.
To do what?
Just try it out. Just take it for a spin. Stephen?
Stephen.
A water bottle with a barbell jack built in is the brainchild of weightlifter turned entrepreneur Pete Anwell.
That looked quite easy. Was that quite easy?
You got to bear in mind, you know.
Yeah, obviously.
He's seeking £50,000 in exchange for 12.5% equity.
And those are little plates.
He's got little plates, he has. For a guy that trains out all day.
Steven Bartlett may have shifted a few kilos, but his fellow Dragons are focused on picking up some pounds.
Hello, Pete. Welcome to Dragon's Den.
Thank you for having me.
So I know very little about this industry. I only lift 20 kilos maximum, so this to me is something I look at in admiration of other people. How long did it take you to develop the prototype and to do all the research? And how did you fund that?
So it was all self-funded with my savings. So I've put £40,000 into the business. So that was April 22. I did a bit of maths to check if a cylinder can deal with that level of compressive strength, because I did engineering at university. And the initial idea, I wanted to run a Kickstarter campaign. And while it was away getting photographed, I was like, well, I'll make a few videos, see what happens. And one of those blew up. And I thought, well, even if the Kickstarter isn't a success, there's clearly a demand for it. So at that point, I said, OK, let's go into manufacture.
Pete, what's your professional background?
So I was an engineer at university, and as a graduate, as an engineer, you don't seem to have a lot of influence. So I became a management consultant, and then I enjoyed the more technical aspects of that, so I went into software development.
So what's your full-time job at the moment?
I'm doing this now.
Full-time?
Yeah.
OK. When I look at this, I think it's cool. I think it's cool. And I think actually what you saw from the reaction to that viral video is a lot of other people thinking it's cool. But there's obviously a big difference between cool and a big brand and / business. They're two very different things. So when I think about Carter, how does this become a business? Give me the vision facing forward. If we sit down 5 years from now, what is this?
So at the moment, I'm trying to create the world's strongest water bottle in this form. And so part of the reason I'm here for the investment is to develop the product, make it even better, more stable, more drinkable, because at the moment the opening's a bit wide, so the flow rate is a bit large. And I want to make hard-wearing drinkware, but it still speaks to the rugged design quality of people that work out.
Pete, I think it's really well made. It definitely does what it says on the tin, for sure. But I don't know where this could become a business.
Yeah. Well, firstly, there's 11 million gym memberships in the UK. There's 64 million in the US, and there's a similar level in the major European markets. So what I'm targeting is 0.1% of that market.
0.1%?
Yeah.
0.01 or 0.1?
0.1%.
0.1?
Of the people with gym memberships that frequently lift weights.
Wow. I'm trying to think of anything I've ever invested in 40 years that I've taken 0.1% of the global market.
Reggae sauce?
Reggae sauce, I don't know whether it's taken 0.1% of the market.
If the UK market for us doesn't grow and the US and Europe expands to reach the proportional numbers based on how many gym memberships there are, we'll do 1.05 million in year 3.
I think it's a really good, innovative product. So I want to say congratulations, you've got yourself a business, there's no doubt about it. And you're going to sell these products because people, I can see people, it might be just cool to buy one and just go to the gym with it. So I congratulate you on that, but I can't see further than that. And when I can't see further, I can't see a big investment or an opportunity. So I'm going to say that I'm out, but thanks for bringing it in.
Thanks very much.
So the only way forward I would see for this business is if you love design, and you do love design, and you're an engineer, so you love to refine and make better, and I know what it's like to create and refine those prototypes. Maybe you need to go away and think, how would I actually make this a business which has scale if this is your passion and you love it? So that would be my advice to you, but on that basis, I am out.
Okay, thank you.
Pete,
Touker.
there's no doubt you're a good engineer. And I think you've got a bottle that you think solves one problem. But you could put another lid on there, solves another problem. You could make it that this water bottle could have 2 compartments, where one's water and one's a smoothie or whatever. All I'm trying to say to you is...
It's rubbish how it is what you're trying to say, and you're trying to change it. Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, no, I'm just saying, Pete's an engineer. I'm just throwing things at him. When he leaves the den, he can have a think.
But I think he's got a great product, does exactly
I've said
what it
that
is on
already,
the tin.
Peter.
It's just the scale of the size of the opportunity.
Yeah. But that's why I'm saying is how can I tweak it to have wider appeal? That's all. Yep. But unfortunately, today, I can't invest them out.
Thank you.
And Pete, I mean, honestly, I'm not your natural investor. And it's very rarely I look at something and think, I haven't got a clue. And that's what I feel like with this. I haven't got a clue. I don't know whether it's brilliant, amazing, everyone's going to buy it, but it doesn't feel like it's going to catch light in the way it needs to. And sadly, I just don't see the scale. But I do wish you all the best.
Thanks very much.
But I'm out.
I'll be really honest, Pete. I'm looking at it and I'm just thinking, it's fantastic that you've invented a product and sold £135,000 worth of it. I'm not convinced you're going to build it to £1 million a year business. And I think if you do, someone else is going to come along and eat your dinner. And so I just don't say that it's ever going to work from an investment standpoint. So you go and make some hay while the sun's shining, and best of luck with it, but I'm out.
Okay, thank you.
Pete, so the business is really, really early. It's really, really early. So a lot of the questions are about vision and about what comes next, because it's hard to just invest in like a water bottle with a different top. What's more defensible is if you're able to build a range and a brand, and that's going to take some time. So I can't invest today on the basis of the product I see here in front of me, unfortunately, because there's just not enough here. But I can invest today on the basis of you and the belief that you'll do something good, because I always believe fundamentally what you're investing in business is people. I see someone that's gonna be successful. So I can invest in that. And so I'm gonna make you an offer. But my offer is actually, it's factoring in the fact that this might not work out. So I have to kind of price that into the model that I'm investing in over the long term. This is a 10-year investment for me, maybe more. And it's really investing in the person I see here today as a potential business partner. So I'm gonna make you an offer for all of the money, and I want 33% of the business, and I'd actually like you to come work with us. Be around our people, lots of different ideas and inspirations there, from e-commerce to marketing. Build your business there, and we'll see what we can do. I think you're a great person, and if it doesn't work out, just come work in a different team, building something else.
Wow.
You can go think of all of your...
I think my poker face is left.
Yeah, okay.
I'd be so honoured to accept that offer.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Let's
thank you so much.
Well done, brother. Well done. It was really, really impressive. Really
Thanks so
impressive.
much.
A weight off Pete's mind.
Thank you, mate.
That was awesome. Thank you so much, everyone.
It was awesome.
Well done, Pete.
Thank you.
As a deal with Steven Bartlett raises the bar for future success.
Oh, that was insane. Yeah, I don't really know what happened. Still trying to process it. It's really crazy. And then Steven, when he said he couldn't invest on the business, I was like really disappointed. And then hit me with the reverse. So cool.
Hi, I'm Sandy. I'm from London, but I'm originally from Macau. And I've been craving for food from home. So I have to come up ways to kind of mimic my mom's recipe and just food from home.
Love some dim sum?
Ah, dim sum.
All some samples. We're on to a winner.
Hi, Dragons. I'm Sandy, and I'm the co-founder of Love Some Dumplings. We're a fresh dumpling brand, and our mission is to bring new flavors, excitement, and variety of dumplings to the UK consumers. We reckon it could become as popular as fresh pasta. Let me tell you a bit about myself. I used to work as a telecommunication consultant, but then I always loved food. So I signed up for MasterChef back in 2020, and I was very lucky to cook all the way to the final, which gave me the confidence to make the leap, and I founded Love Some. We make everything fresh in London with quality ingredient. Our dumplings store well in the fridge, and customer can just reheat them and cook them at home just under 8 minutes. To start with, we launched online. But it became quite obvious that the online business doesn't align with our bigger goal of making Love Some the #1 brand in the UK. So we've relaunched in January, and since then, we've already sold over 150,000 dumplings to 25,000 shoppers. And to date, we're listed in Selfridges, Booths in the Northwest, and another 100 retailers. And our next step is to unlock the bigger supermarket. I'm here asking for an investment of £50,000 for 5% of the company share. But before anything else, would you love some dumplings?
Absolutely.
A range of dumplings with a difference, which can be heated and consumed at home, are the proposition from Sandy Tang.
Shall I take that one?
Yeah, thank you so much.
She's seeking £50,000 in exchange for a 5% share of her business.
There I am. Lovely. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Sandy's dim sum may be delicious, but will they add up to an investable business?
Well, congratulations on getting to the final of MasterChef.
Thank you.
Let's see whether you get anywhere in the den.
Yeah.
I must say, about 20 years ago, I was introduced to a dumpling with pork inside it, and I've loved it ever since. So I'm a fan. I want to go really quickly, though, to the business, because you launched it in January.
Yes.
Tell me what your sales have been since January.
We're turning over 100,000.
Okay. What's your gross margin?
65, 68.
Wow, so you've done 68,000 gross margin so far.
Yeah.
How much have you invested in the business?
We have raised 2 million recently.
Wow.
How much?
Wow.
You raised £2 million?
Yes.
Where did you raise that? Who gave you the 2 million?
So it's from friends and family.
Wow, you've got some nice friends, haven't you?
Can I ask you, Sandy, what percentage of the business did you give away?
I own half of the business.
So you gave 50% away, straight away?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. And how much money have you got left?
We have spent 1 million.
You spent $1 million. What have you spent it on?
Rent, machinery, because we're manufacturing everything by ourselves.
What's your burn rate, your monthly burn rate? So what's your total costs of running your business?
About 40,000.
40,000,
yeah.
okay.
All right.
Sandy, just to work this out, you've got sufficient working capital, you've got a factory, and it's a little bit, you're now chasing yourself to fill the factory, correct?
Correct. We are not at full capacity yet,
Yeah.
but we will outgrow ourselves if we acquire more customers.
Okay, you're turning over £100,000. Well, with the plant and equipment that you've got at the moment, what sort of turnover could you go up to with your existing production or equipment?
Well, 5,000, about, I would say, £1 million
£1
in the
million
current.
a year?
Yes. It's very small at the moment.
Yeah.
We have plans to move to a bigger site, which is already ongoing now. It's a proper factory.
Right, and what sort of investment would that take? So you've got £1 million left in cash.
Yeah.
You're burning 40,000 a month.
Yeah.
You've got plans to move to another factory, which will take up more of your funds.
So the new factory, the cost of that would be £1.5 million.
£1.5 million?
Yes.
So I'm a little bit perplexed. You're setting up a factory that can manufacture for your growth.
Correct.
But your current facility, you can actually increase your turnover 10 times before you need that factory.
Yes.
So what is it in your forecast that makes you think that you need to actually move into a new factory now?
So the quantity, let's talk about quantity. So
No, let's talk about forecasts. Yeah, let's talk about what I would like to talk about.
Okay.
What does this business look like going forward?
So year 2 next year, our assumption is we'll get a listing in one of the big supermarkets, which we're already talking to. We'll be turning over 2 million.
And the big supermarket that you're talking to, have they given you an indication of their anticipated sales?
We're still at the stage of sampling and, trying to.
Okay,
get
so
that
you
interest.
really, that's just conversations
Yeah.
going on. So your current overhead was 40,000 a month.
Yes.
What is your overhead going to look like when you're running that factory?
I think we put an assumption of about 400K.
So you are building a huge cost base into this business without any serious indication that you're going to land that big supermarket deal.
Correct. But I would say that it's a very chicken and egg question, because if we don't have the capacity, we can't even have a conversation.
But Sandy, it's always a chicken and egg situation. But what you do in business is you sense the moment at which you are likely to get that growth. You're constantly either under-resourced and you have to go like crazy, or you're over-resourced because you're building for the next one. But you, at the moment, are taking yourself into a whole different ballgame without a glimmer of knowledge that you might well get into one of the supermarkets other than a conversation, and that makes it very hard to invest. So I'm afraid I won't be investing, I'm out.
Sandy, I've been involved in factories all my life. And the problem is, when you've got an overcapacity, you tend to be making decisions that are more factory-based rather than the brand-based and business-based, because you want to fill the factory. And that is a red flag to me. And for that reason, I'm not going to invest, I'm out.
Sandy, when you start a business, sometimes when you've got too much money, you don't always make the best decisions, because you've got options and you think, oh, well, let's own the factory already. Whereas somebody perhaps starting with a very small amount and scraping would think, we really can't afford to do that yet, so we've got to, slowly scale up the business. And I think my worry a little bit is that you do have this access to cash, which is really fortunate for you. I just don't understand totally your motivation. So for that reason, I'm out.
Sandy, your dumplings are absolutely amazing. But you've come in here and valued a business at £1 million. And then I'm sitting here trying to weigh up, well, how have we arrived at that valuation? You're burning cash at a rate of 40,000 a month. And you're not just trying to run before you can walk, you're in the next town. And it would be terrifying for me to have any of my money in there. So it's definitely not an investment I would be involved in, and I'm out, but good luck with it.
Thank you.
I have to say, you've taken a bit of flack for a variety of reasons, but the branding is great. And even I like the name as well, Love Some. I think it's a really great name, and I like what you've done with the packaging. You referenced at the start that you think dim sum and dumplings are having a bit of a moment. Some that at all with any research or data?
Not on top of my head, no.
But there's some data.
With
it would take me 10 minutes if I could get to my phone to look at the data. Have you looked at Google search trend data, which is free and available?
I can definitely look at it, yeah.
Have you?
No, we've done some research piece back then, but those numbers just not on top of my head.
See, I think if I was running your business, there's nothing that would be more on top of my head than what's going on in the market. One of the sort of key propositions of the story you're telling today is that this is a growing market. We're early, but we've timed it right.
Yeah.
And to convince me that you've timed it right, I would need to know that that wave was coming into shore. But for me, that's relying on a lot of ifs. So I'm going to say that I'm out, but I wish you the best.
Thank you.
Sandy, you clearly are good at cooking, and you're clearly good at creating. The fact that you've got to the final of MasterChef. But to come in here without a very clear plan of how you're going to take investment and how this business functions financially was a massive, massive risk. Why did you take that?
Because we've got the shelf-ready product. We have a plan that we can sell to supermarkets. But obviously, the most important thing is we need help.
I genuinely think you need a lot more than help. I think you absolutely, desperately need me. I absolutely love this.
Thank you.
I think that this is completely up my street. And the fact that you are absolutely bloody useless at running a business is absolutely brilliant, because where could I ever get an opportunity to invest in a business like this with a genius individual that clearly knows creatively how to create an amazing product, clearly knows how to sell a product. You've done everything right. And the bit that you've done wrong is where Peter Jones comes in. So Sandy, you've asked for £50,000 for 5%. I would like to offer you all of the money, 50,000, for 20% of the company.
Thank you, Peter. I'm going to give you a counter offer back. Are we able to take the money and then we would give you back the money if you could bring the share down to 10%.
Okay, I will do that.
Brilliant. Yes.
You accepting that?
Yes.
Yeah, well done.
Hey.
I'm so glad you like our product.
I love it. To say I like it is an understatement. I love it.
Yay!
Success for Sandy, as a desire for dumplings helps persuade Peter Jones to part with his dough.
Gosh, I'm so happy, excited, especially the emotional roller coaster that the dragons have put me through. I wasn't expecting that coming.
I was so pleased that you made those comments and just didn't have the vision.
Hi, I'm Lucy. I'm 24 and I live in Pembrokeshire, West Wales. I sort of started my business by accident when I was at university. My products went viral on TikTok though, and that's how I ended up where I am today.
Is that a cleaning product or a face product?
It's too pretty to be a cleaning product, I would say.
You're pretty much dressed like that table.
No, I am not dressed like that
Can
table.
I just, Stephen, a word of advice?
Yeah.
Try not to say to a woman, you're dressed like that table.
Hi Dragons, I'm Lucy. I'm 24 and the founder of Hair Syrup. We're an accidental, innovative, social-led brand that sells a range of natural hair and scalp oils. And I'm here today asking for a £190,000 investment in return for a 3% equity stake in my business. During my high school years, I spent some time bleaching, backcombing, and damaging my hair to what I thought was a point of no return. I decided to embark on a hair care journey, and this is where I stumbled upon the benefits that natural oils can have for your hair and scalp. But there was one problem with the oils available on the market, their price tag. So, as a broke uni student, I decided to collate the raw ingredients and make my own. And after a few months of consistent weekly use, the difference I saw in my hair was incredible. Fast forward to 2020, hair care was one of the biggest trends on TikTok. And as a keen user of the app, I decided to create a video documenting my own hair journey. To my surprise, this video went viral, reaching over 600,000 views, and my comment section was bombarded with the same question: please, can you sell me a bottle of this hair oil? And I've managed to grow this homegrown side hustle into a business that is projected to turn over 6.5 million in 2025. My vision for the future is clear. I'm hoping for mass global expansion, but I'm not sure if I can do this all by myself. So I'm hoping that one of you will come along with me on this journey to take Hair Syrup to the next level.
A range of hair products containing natural oils is the offering from accidental entrepreneur Lucy McLeod.
I'd like to ask that you take a little look at some of our best-selling products.
Lucy is seeking £190,000 in return for a 3% share in her company.
You can have a smell, but they are quite runny, so be careful you don't spill them.
She may be keen to ensure there are no spills. But will Lucy's TikTok-based business give Steven Bartlett the thrills?
Lucy, isn't social media great? Isn't it just
It is indeed.
great and important? So your valuation when you said it, I think it's almost 6.3 million, so it's pretty staggering. But then you alluded to the fact that you're targeting 6.5 million next year. So could you give me your financials?
Yeah, so 2022, we turned over 130,000 with a net profit of 42,000. And then in 2023, we turned over 1.3 million with a net profit of 400,000. And then in 2024, we turned over 4.5 million with a post-tax net profit of 1.4 million.
Congratulations.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Where and how are you selling the product? What's your most popular sales channels?
So we do about 80% B2C. So we sell a lot on TikTok Shop.
Okay, so direct to consumer.
Direct to consumer, yeah. And then we also sell a lot through our website.
What percentage is TikTok Shop?
49%.
Wow.
Lucy, congratulations.
Thank you.
Absolutely fantastic. It's so lovely to hear such a great success story.
Thank you.
What's the next step? What's your dream?
So I have obviously kind of dipped my toes in the world of entrepreneurship, and I really like the idea of continuing to be an entrepreneur because I think I've done an okay job at it so far. So yeah, I'd like to expand.
So you're going to create other products, could be other skin products, it could be...
That's the idea. I might move away from cosmetics. One thing I really want to do one day is revision books, because I was a sucker for them when I was younger and there was a very limited market. So once this is becomes slightly more passive for me and I'm not such an active part of it. I was thinking something like that could be quite cool.
So if I was to invest in you,
Yes.
I always like to work out how I get out before I get in.
Yes.
So if I'm going to invest in you, what does my future look like?
So we are looking at a 6.5 million turnover in 2026, an 8.4 million in 2027,
Yeah.
and a 10 million in 2028. So I would say that hopefully you'd be coming along with me to get this looking better, selling better, and being all over the world, hopefully.
Okay.
But by then you've become passive in your business and moved on to the next thing. So where does that leave you, Peter? Have you got out already?
Yeah, that's what I worried about. That was because if you're off doing all these wonderful things, and am I still there? I've still got my 3%, but
Well, one thing I will say is hair syrup is a very much a founder-led brand, as you've probably gathered from the success across social media. So I don't have any plans to sell the business.
Lucy, one question for me. How much dividend do you plan to take this year out of the business?
I don't take dividends.
So what do you take then?
I take a wage.
Okay. And do you have no plans to take any dividends?
Probably not for the next while, no.
So, Lucy, how are you intending that an investor gets a return on their investment?
Well, I always saw that the return of investment would just come through naturally with the revenue growth of the company.
But that money sits, so what happens with a company? It creates money.
Yes.
And that sits and is owned by the company.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to make a decision to take that out of the company, and that's called dividends.
Yes.
But you've just said to Touker that you're not going to pay dividends in the future. Now, I'm not trying to catch you. I think you don't really understand the mechanics of how companies work.
I'm not great with that side of things. The only reason I haven't taken dividends, though, is because I am the only shareholder and I take quite a good wage myself. But yeah, I mean, for sure, dividends is definitely something that...
So there's two things that happen when investors invest in businesses.
Yeah.
So you get dividends on an ongoing basis, and that relies on you producing a high level of profit. So if I put £190,000 for 3% of the company, if you declared a dividend of £100,000, I would get £3,000 of that.
Yeah.
So you can imagine, you're going to have to earn an awful lot of money to pay me back my £190,000 before you even start giving me a return on my £190,000. So without an event that actually says you can get some of your cash out, like a sale, that £190,000 gets locked up with very little return on it in real terms. So it's quite hard to understand unless you can explain to me as an investor how I'm going to get some return on my investment.
Well, like I said, for the next kind of few years, I definitely didn't have any plans of selling it. But yeah, I would make sure that, you know, whoever invests, that the dividends and everything is all...
Yeah, the trouble is you have to generate £6 million worth of profit, not turnover, to pay me back my £190,000. No return on that at all. To double my money, you've got to produce £12 million worth of profit. We're not talking turnover. Unless you are willing to look in a reasonable timescale at an exit. And you actually just said you're really not keen on that.
I think Lucy doesn't know.
I don't really know.
Lucy, I think it's awesome. I think you've done an incredible job. To get a business making 1.4 million is off the chart great. However, because of the fact that you genuinely haven't thought about what an investor would want, I think any investment offer from me would place you in a situation where I'm now going to have to steer and control you, and I wouldn't want to do that. So I'm going to say that I'm out, but congratulations for what you've done.
Okay.
So I think you've got amazing hair, which is really the underpinnings of the whole thing. But I've been in another business that I invested in through the den. It was not in this area. But actually, after the den, we went massive on TikTok. My God, we rode that wave hard. But then the problem is, we were massive, nothing.
Yeah.
And it dried up overnight. So I feel like I've experienced firsthand how big the come down can be after the highs. So take nothing away from you. This is an outstanding business. But it worries me too much from an investment standpoint. And for that reason, Lucy, I'm out.
Lucy, I think you've done a really wonderful job. I think you're wonderful as well. But I personally am a little bit concerned about your dependency on one particular platform to generate 50% of your sales, because when I heard this 50% number, I go, oof, we need a life raft. So for that reason, I'm going to say that I'm out, but I wish you the best.
Sorry, guys. I feel like I just haven't sold it well enough.
Lucy, I've never seen somebody at 24 who's become a multimillionaire look quite so crestfallen. You know, you was getting more and more crestfallen, and you're not listening to what's being said here. It's incredible, incredible what you've achieved so far. And I still know you're not hearing it because that smile's not doing it.
Thank you.
But go away and think about that later. Listen, for me, you're brilliant. But you have made it difficult for an investor, so I am really sorry, Lucy, but I won't be investing. I'm out.
Okay. Gosh, sorry, I feel like I've just made a half of this, and now everyone's...
Stop bloody apologising, darling.
Okay.
Okay, really, take a deep breath. Think, I've made 4 million in 3 years. You know, I've done 4 million. Who else can say that? My daughter is 20, you're 3.5 years older than her, and my God, if she would be where you are today, I'd be so proud, so proud. I think what's interesting in your business is, you know, your growth, I'm going to say, is great, but I feel there's a gut in my feeling here, which is you have a zeitgeist moment, and I don't know the longevity of the brand.
Okay.
You can look at beauty brands out there and you can think which one will be there in 10 years and which one is a moment. I think the biggest risk to me is this a moment in time or is it going to turn into something big? And I do not know the answer to that. And I don't love to invest in trends. I like to invest in things which ultimately will have longevity. If you've been asking for less, let's say £100,000, I would have been willing to take the risk. But £190,000, I'm not willing to. And so for that reason, I'm out.
Touker, is it you?
Wow. What do you want from a dragon?
I want someone to grow with me and help me to not make mistakes that I'm probably going to make without someone. I want someone to come on a journey with me because I totally appreciate your guys' thoughts because of the way that it's gone on, you know, because it's so big on TikTok. But I think it's good that we've got a real concrete foundation there. But what I want or need from a dragon is mentorship and help in navigating.
What's that worth? And I say that, what's it worth, right? Because how do you get your money out?
Yes.
And you don't need money.
No.
But you need a dragon. The complication here is, how do I get my money back? Right? So how do I make you an offer where I get my money back really quickly?
Well, make her one.
Make her an offer.
Well, I will make you one. And I think what you need is a mentor not to make mistakes. And probably you need to have a retail strategy, which I think at the moment you haven't got one.
Nope.
But I think you need an insurance policy against TikTok as well. And
definitely.
You know, and that would be, you know, a way that I could guide you. I'm not going to run the business for you if I get involved, but I will guide you so you don't make any mistakes.
Okay.
So I will give you all of the money 190,000 for the 3%, as long as I get my money back within 3 months and keep the 3%. Right? And I will be your best mentor.
Okay. I can do that.
You can do that.
What?
Yeah.
I can do that.
And you're basically giving away those shares. I just need you to be really clear, understand.
Do you want to go think at the wall?
Yeah, my head is just...
Yeah, just go for a drink of water and come back.
Okay, thanks.
Lucy has a massive decision to make. Touker Suleyman has thought outside the box to devise an offer that honours the company's current valuation, sidesteps the slow rate of return on investment, and also provides the mentorship that Lucy was seeking. However, his repayment terms, which would see him get his £190,000 back in just 12 weeks, have ruffled feathers amongst his fellow dragons. But will the offer prove palatable for this entrepreneur?
Okay. So I think I do need a dragon, and I see no issue with the repayment of the money, because I think that where you'd be able to get with me would be worth that. So
You want to accept?
that, yeah,
Great.
I think I do. Yeah.
Great.
Is that,
My dragons, they seem very excited.
why is everyone making that face? I'm a bit
I
nervous.
just want to make sure that you're
You understand,
aware,
you're basically
aware.
giving him 3% of your company.
For free.
Well, you are indirectly, but then you'll have a dragon. And if you feel uncomfortable, then say, I don't accept it. I don't want you to feel, that I've tried to trick you in any way. That's not my intention. My intention really is, how do you get your money back? And I've come up with a formula to overcome that.
Okay.
I tell you what, Lucy, I can feel you're uncomfortable, right? And I don't want to take away 3% for nothing from your business, so I'm out.
Okay.
Thank you, Lucy. Thank you.
Thanks.
Lucy leaves the den empty-handed. But unusually, it's not because of a lack of dragon interest in striking a deal.
Look, you guys didn't want to invest, right? Because you couldn't get your money out. I tried to find a solution.
You know what, Touker?
No,
I think that was a good thing to do. What you did at the end. I think you were that was an honourable thing to do.
So obviously I didn't get any investment, but what I did get was a load of really, really useful feedback that I will be sure to take on board and hopefully help me to succeed in the future.
Next time on Dragon's Den.
I'm not overly convinced about a bum spray.
There's never been a product that is more well-suited for me than this, and that's why they teamed up.
I'm assuming the 1% is for my other dragons, because I don't get out of bed for 1%, you know that.
Hey, that's way to set the tone there, Deborah.
It's what I do when I want something.
Greedy.